What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
The Boston Celtics take care of business here at TD Garden in Game 1 of the NBA playoffs. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Mike Petraglia and Josue Pavone. 10-point victory over the Indiana Pacers, and it wasn't always pretty, especially in that first half. You could definitely tell that the Celtics had some jitters and some nerves with the turnovers that we saw early on, but they found a way to get it done. Al Horford said after the game that this was an old school win, low scoring, grinded out. How impressive was it for the Celtics to be able to overcome some adversity and win this one tonight?
Sarah, I think it was really impressive. Brad Stevens, adding on to the point that Al Horford made, said it felt like watching a late 80s, early 90s playoff basketball game when if you scored 95 points, it felt like you scored 120 or 25 these days. It certainly had that feel. It was ugly, but the most impressive thing about this game, the Celtics commit 17 turnovers and win a game by double digits, 10 points, 84-74, and they only shoot 36%. All of those factors, I think, made Brad Stevens really happy that his team found a way to win a game when they played very much a sloppy game for most of it.
Right, and this is a game where, or a series I should say, that the Pacers want the score to be low. You know, this is what they want. They don't have their top scorer. They don't have that go-to guy that can win a game for them, which is something that Nate McMillan brought up before the game. And you saw them sort of lead by committee throughout that first half. They managed to get a double-digit lead, but then the Celtics, that third quarter, of course, made all the difference. But the Celtics also, we have to credit them that they've struggled a lot throughout the course of the NBA regular season in that third quarter, in that frame. So it was encouraging to see them, turn things around.
You know, Josue, I was the one who actually asked that question of Nate McMillan about Victor Oladipo. Yeah, whatever. But it was, I know, I appreciate that. But it without Victor Oladipo, they don't have a go-to guy. And the Celtics have 3 or 4 kind of go-to guys, obviously led by Kyrie Irving, who had 20 points. But there again, you see the difference in the two teams. The Celtics want to shoot and drive that score up, drive the tempo up, have about 10 to 14 seconds left on the shot clock each and every time when they take a shot at the basket. The Pacers are going to let it go down to 4-5 seconds before they get a shot at the basket.
Right. This Garden Report is brought to you by betonline.ag. Head to clnsmedia.com/win. Enter the promo code CLNS50 for 50% cash back on your first deposit. And guys, all season long, the third quarter has been a struggle for the Celtics.
Well documented.
They build up early leads and they let them go. That's been the story as of late. Tonight, it was the opposite. Struggled in the first half, and then something clicked, something changed at the break, and they exploded in that third quarter. And we have to talk about that Terry Rozier 3 to end the third quarter.
Pull-up 3.
The place went nuts. He went nuts. It was really cool to see him have a shot like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's done that so many times throughout the regular season. It's like he wants to get the ball in that moment because he loves to, the buzzer beater, crowd goes crazy. That type of energy going into the final frame, very important. But yeah, to piggyback on what you're saying about the third quarter, I actually got to ask a question, Trags, to Kyrie Irving. What do you think of that question? Was it pretty good?
I thought it was spot on.
It was solid, right? I saw you nodding. You're doing that Trags nod. That means Trags really like what you said when he starts doing that. But no, I asked him about what went into the second half. Was there a conversation? Was there a discussion at halftime? Did you guys rally behind it? He was just like, no, not necessarily. It was just these guys just sort of figuring out how to click on the court, what they needed to do, and that's encouraging for a team that's, again, of course, struggled throughout the third quarter. There wasn't a big rah-rah speech for these guys. They sort of just got it. It clicked. And that's exactly what you want to see. And we're hoping that they can carry that on into Indiana because we want this to be a short series. I mean, if we're talking about the Celtics going deep into the playoffs, you don't want to see the series go 6 or 7 games. You want this to be quick. You want them to have that confidence going up against a team like the Milwaukee Bucks. Moving forward, they want to have that momentum. They have to have that momentum. And I think the best way to do it is by making this a 5 or 6 game series.
Well, obviously, you want to limit the number of games you have to play without Marcus Smart, right? I mean, that's the object, and that's to your point. The more games you have to play without Marcus Smart, I think the more you're taxing the depth of your team, which still the Celtics, and Nate McMillan brought this up after the game, Celtics are a very, very deep team.
Yeah.
And that's something that they don't get a lot of credit for because of guys like Kyrie and Gordon Hayward and also Al Horford. But they can go very, very deep. And that's something that would be tested and will be tested without Marcus Smart.
Right. Well, the Celtics have 2 games off before Game 2 right back here at TD Garden on Wednesday night. We'll have all your coverage on CLNSmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.